Hi guys, it's Jo from Mum to Mum. I know that you know the Mum to Mum range for our bibs and our rainwear and our childcare products that we bring to you throughout New Zealand. But what we've decided to do is introduce a new range from Australia. It's Conni, it's for incontinence and bedwetting. So I wanted to tell you a little story of why and how and a little bit more about the Conni range. So recently I visited Australia and visited family, and I met some family that were in a rest home and a bit elderly, and while I was there I got first-hand knowledge of this brand. This brand is an amazing brand, and you'll learn a little bit more why as we continue with this little story. I also got to meet some of the owners and the managing director at Conni and learn a little bit about their story. So Glynis, she is a lady who has spent her whole career in life developing products and incontinence, and basically her goal in life is to help people and make life a bit easier for them. She has come up with a marvellous product here, and as we go through this video you'll learn why as well. So what we've done is we've brought some of the children's range of Conni into New Zealand. So we've brought the bed pad with tuck-ins. So what that means is you've got a bed pad that sits on the bed and it tucks in, and it can sit on top of the sheets, and your little toilet trainer or leaker can jump into the bed and it will tuck right around the mattress, and it just makes for easy changing. Then we've brought in the bed pad as well. A few people asked us the other day, because we just had them out at field days, why the bed pad versus the tuck-ins. The tuck-in seems easier. But let's put it this way, what if you've got a 5-year-old bedwetter and you want it to be a little bit more discreet? You want that to go under their sheet, so if they're having a sleepover or kids in, then this one here can pop under their sheet. You put the fitted sheet on top, does a magnificent job, and actually this is the #1 selling waterproof that the Conni do in Australia. So why Conni? Why Conni compared to other brands on the market? I know you can buy waterproofs from other people, and there are a lot of other ones on the market, but when I discovered the Conni one and what it actually does, I was very amazed. So if we can zoom into the back of our little box here. Okay, so this actually highlights a little bit about the Conni pad. So you've got your breathable top layer, which is a brushed polyester. Then we have the two middle layers. One is a polyester like batting sheet that creates and soaks the moisture away from when they've wet the bed or when they've spilt or whatever. And then the next layer is a polyester blended polyurethane, so that there becomes a waterproof layer, and it stops it going through into your bed and makes it way more convenient, and stops your bed getting wet, stops the mattress getting wet, stops issues, and actually in the long run it saves you for laundry. And then the bottom layer, or the base, is another layer of the brushed polyester, so it actually grips onto the bed, which is actually really good and stops that movement, and it stops it having a synthetic waterproof or plastic layer feeling on the bottom. One thing I will say about the Conni range is there's no PVC, there's no issue with them getting mouldy or anything like that if you care for them correctly. They do come with full care instructions. They're the easiest thing to do. You basically pop them on the bed, just like how it says here. If the bed is wet, you take them off the bed. You then put them in the washing machine, straight into the dryer or line dry. They are one of the easiest products to look after, and you can basically recycle them and have them back on the bed again. We do say that it's probably handy having two, because if you wake up in the middle of the night and you've had a wet bed, then you can just quickly strip it off and back to bed really quickly before your child is awake too much, and hopefully it makes it ease on the parents as well. So the next question would be, why Conni? Why not one of the other brands? Well, I'm going to do a little demonstration here. So this is the bed pad one here, the one that's just a square. I'm just going to pop that aside here. What I've got here is a cotton topped one. So we're taught a lot of the time cotton's good, cotton's breathable, which is true, but as you know, when you're layering or you're cold, cotton's cold. The polyester blend that Conni have developed is warm, and even just by putting your hands on them, and I know you're not here today to do it, so you kind of have to believe me, you have a cold surface, and this is actually already a warm surface. I've got some liquid here, just in the little jug. I'm not going to pour it from up here because you don't stand on your bed and wet your bed by standing over it. So like if a kid has an accident, they would obviously wet lying down. So I'm just going to pour it gently as if to say it was just a bedwetting, just so you can see the difference in the product. So if we just go here and we like move this away, you can see this is on the cotton-based fabric. Now this is the Conni one, the charcoal one. I used the charcoal one because I wanted you to be able to see it. I tried it on the white one, but you couldn't really see it, so I picked out this one. So this is on the Conni bed pad. So you can see the water is pouring out again. Now the difference already is, you can see the Conni one has gone in and it's soaking into the product itself. You can see where they've wet the bed, but to touch, it's barely even there, like, you know, even thing. This one, however, is wet. You can see my hand is completely wet if I touch it. So I'll just dry my hand off again just to show you again. So same thing, wet. So I do wonder with the cotton-based products how cold and wet your child gets, and at least when they leak on here, they're still going to have the feeling of being wet, but they're not going to be saturated through. And you know, I think that's an important thing when you're trying to potty train or deal with a distressed kid in the night. And as you can see, if I just do these more and more, one is still sitting relatively on the top and the other one is sort of soaked away from the baby. Both of them do, however, have, like if you go underneath that layer, they both are still waterproof, but the Conni one now actually feels completely dry, whereas this still feels soaking wet. Actually, yeah, you can actually squeeze water out of that one. You can't get any water out of this one. So like I said, incontinence, I think, or leaking, it's a human nature thing. You know, you're potty training, you have nappies that leak, you have kids that are sick and vomiting, and then there's a whole other side to it. One of the good things when I was talking to the Conni people is the bed pad itself is quite handy. Like if you've just had a baby, we all know that, like, unfortunately mums do leak a bit after they've just had a baby. So it's actually a handy thing to pop in under your sheets or your mattress just to protect your own bed as well, and a really sensible thing. And like, you literally, if you've leaked in it overnight, pop it out, put it in the wash, and off you go again. It's handy. So more to what I was just saying, cotton. So we know that the cotton fibres are good, and we've all grown up to know that they're good. But one thing I did learn when I was Googling and trying to figure out whether I was going to bring this product in is cotton is not a good insulator, so heat escapes really quickly. So that is actually true, because if you're out tramping or you're on a frosty morning, you know, you don't put cotton against your skin, or you shouldn't put cotton against your skin because it doesn't keep you warm. So it makes sense with what they've done here to create a really cool practical product. So that's really it. Mum to mum now have Conni here in New Zealand. So I guess our advice to you would be to say goodbye to bedwetting and think about investing in a product that you know is going to work for you and your family. It's going to save you washing, it's going to help you with your managing toilet training, and it's going to be an asset to your home. So check it out on Mum to Mum's website if you wanted some more information. Hopefully we've done enough there. Feel free to ask us any questions. But Conni is now here with Mum to Mum in New Zealand. Thanks.